Hi, my name is Jomanna Sleiman, and I'm interested in examining the differences between compounds and phrases. The variation in our productions of words and sentences all boil down to a concept known as prosody. Prosody is what allows us to hear and perceive the difference between compounds like greenhouse, a building for growing plants, and phrases like greenhouse, a house that is painted green. Although these two words are the same in both constructions, there is a difference in the way they are produced that allows us to identify them as having different meanings. Compounds are typically characterized by an emphasis on the first word, as in greenhouse or hot dog. Phrases are typically more emphasized on the second word, as in greenhouse or hot dog. Prosody is a combination of F0 intensity and duration, all of which, when combined, can make a word sound more prominent than others. The vowel in a prominent word is found to be longer, louder, and higher pitched than in a non-prominent word. Previous research by Farnatani et al. Examined the difference between compounds and phrases in 1988. Their study included 3 different types of compounds, including noun-noun, adjective-noun, and present participle compounds. The study examined the production of 7 speakers that had either American or British English dialects. The results of the study were informative as they acted as a stepping stone in compound and phrase research, but the results were difficult to generalize due to the small amount of participants and the variation of the speaker dialects. The present study looked only at the present participle compounds by examining Canadian English speakers raised in Alberta. This study plays an informative role in language acquisition research as it provides a foundational understanding of what constitutes these constructions before diving into when they are acquired. Essentially, the question I wish to answer with my research is, what are the prosodic differences between present participle productions of compounds and phrases in Canadian English of the Alberta dialect? The experiment developed to answer this question was a production elicitation task. The stimuli included images of an alien named Sam who had novel objects and did novel things in an alien world. These images corresponded to the novel compound and phrasal constructions that are in the table. The task involved a familiarization task and an experimental task. Participants were brought into a room and given a headset with an attached microphone to record their productions. They were then shown images on a screen and asked questions which would elicit the compound or phrasal items. The familiarization task involved images of familiar items such as a coloring book or a diving board. The experimental task involved the novel images and a script used by the research assistant to elicit the compounds and phrases in full sentences. These are the images used for the item baking shoes. In the phrasal condition, Sam is baking shoes by placing them inside the oven. This image elicits the sentence, Sam is baking shoes in the kitchen. In the compound condition, Sam wears specific shoes while she bakes. This image elicits the sentence, Sam's baking shoes are in the kitchen. In order to analyze the results, production recordings were segmented into 3 units for each item: the word, the syllable, and the vowel. Using PROT, a speech analysis software, we were able to segment the beginning and end of each vowel and then extract the phonetic measurements of pitch, intensity, and duration. These are the F0 results. The most noteworthy pattern we see is in phrases, which showed a drop in F0 in the second word. In compounds, we don't see this drop. Instead, F0 remains consistent across both words. For duration, there were no differences between compounds and phrases. However, in both constructions, word 2 is longer than word 1. Our results showed that F0 is the main cue in identifying a difference between present participle compounds and phrases, and that duration is not a reliable cue. Although previous research has shown that prominent words are longer and higher pitched, this doesn't seem to be the case with our data. Instead, the difference between compounds and phrases is not a matter of prominence at all. It's an illusion. Instead, the difference is in a drop in F0 at the end of the phrase. Our next steps involve segmenting the remaining participant data, analyzing the intensity measurements, and then testing for statistical significance. Thank you for listening.